I suppose Jack told you that the chief purpose of the Christophers is to get more people of high purpose into the vital fields that affect, for better or for worse, the lives of the majority of mankind. The fields of teaching, government, writing, labor, social service, and library work. And Jack mentioned that we were interested in one picture. As a matter of fact, I'd be interested in lots of pictures on the Christopher idea, because I don't know of any medium in which we could reach the millions of people more effectively through the motion pictures.
A job with a purpose, so you can whistle while you work.
Yes, very good, Ann. That's the way to put it. Whistle while you work. But it's really much more than that, too. I'm convinced we're on the brink of the greatest peace the world has ever seen, or the worst disaster.
You make it sound like a matter of life and death, Father.
But, Bill, I really feel it is. Here we are in the greatest country in the world, about the only country left intact. And whether we like it or not, I'm afraid, as America goes, so goes the world.
Why, Father, that's a frightening thought.
Yes, Loretta, but a glorious challenge. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Just think, a little handful of people can change the whole course of history.
Well, maybe more than a handful.
I mean, just that, a handful. 1% is nothing more than a handful. And just think what that 1% has been doing to mess up the world.
What am I supposed to do? Come in. Hi. I was just feeding Johnny his breakfast.
I see.
Would you like some cornflakes?
No, thanks, honey.
I'm not, honey. I'm the lady of the house till Mama gets home.
Oh, I'll remember that. You go right on with breakfast.
Why did you bring me here?
Poverty and uncleanliness are not necessarily companions. In this case, the father's in the hospital, and the mother has to work all day to earn a living. So, you see what happens. How wonderful it would be if Mrs. Ross would come home just one day and find everything spick and span. Now, I'm sure there's a pail and scrubbing brush around somewhere, and we need some soap. I'd be glad to run down to the store and... What's the matter, Emily?
Why did you do it to me? Why?
I understood you wanted to help people.
It isn't that simple, and you know it.
It's exactly that simple. You can pass out 10,000 revolutionary handbills. You can chain yourself to every lamppost in the city. You can incite a riot every other Thursday. But Mrs. Ross will still need some help to clean up that house and get dinner for those kids. They can't wait for that millennium you promised. They need help now. And God wants us to do something about it, not just talk about it. You don't improve the world by fiery speeches and clenched fists. That's been tried. You go out and see what's wrong. And you get a scrubbing brush and get down on your knees if a dirty floor is what's wrong. And if a child crying is what's wrong, you dry its tears. And if a blind man trying to find his way is what's wrong, you reach for his arm. That's real love of people. And if you don't believe that the way to change the world is through kindness and decency, then all this idealistic talk of yours about your concern for your fellow man is just a lot of humbug. Come on. I'll take you home.
Professor Graham,
Yes, Emily?
do you think that with the pail and scrubbing brush, you could find me an apron?
I shouldn't be at all surprised.
Government is your business. But maybe you'd rather not bother.
Easier to just go on leaving politics to the politicians. You know, let George do it. Getting sore? Yep, that's the way it crept up on me. A couple of years ago, I was on the GI Bill at the State University Law School here in the little industrial town of Union Falls.
Now, wait a minute. If you want a permit to start a small business, even running a cab, you get it from the council.
You don't know what you're talking about. You get it from the county commissioners.
Listen to the sophomores. You want anything in this town, you get it from Sam Willoughby.
What do you mean?
Look, this is a machine town. Sam Willoughby runs the machine. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, the great emancipator in our midst. What do you suggest, Mr. Lincoln?
Now, speak up, boy. Still a free country, you know.
Either we run our government, or our government runs us. That's as true today as it was in 1776. Guys like Willoughby have been taking us to the cleaners for years. And it's up to you, Carl, and you, Eddie, and me. It's up to all of us to do something about it.
Look, Johnny, why not face the facts? What can we do? What can one guy do? Change the world?
Yeah, you can change the world. Here's the book that says people like you can change the world.
Came out of a book, huh?
That Christopher book. Government is your business.
Here is a famous skyline of America, and here is the Golden Gate. In between are teeming cities and quiet villages. This is a fair land, a great land. But over this fair land lies the shadow of a man. His name?
I'm George. George, you know, the fellow you let do it. I'm the guy that's running your country, your state, city, your little hometown. You don't like that, huh? Well, why don't you like it? Aren't you the people have been saying I'm too busy, let George do it? Well, I've been doing it. Yes, sir, I've been doing it. You know why I've been doing it? Because as long as you Americans do nothing but complain, nothing more, understand, I can get away with it. Sure, you can run around talking about self-government. Self-government. You realize 40 million of you. You call it self-government? Well, why should I get you wise? You know, I'm the guy that made Hitler, Mussolini, fellas like that very successful. I paved the way for them. You betcha I did. And I can continue to pave the way as long as you do nothing about it. Who was that fella? Burke, Edmund Burke. He says the only triumph is for the good people to do nothing about it. And it's working out pretty good. Of course, there's one little movement that's starting to put a crimp in my style, and I don't like it. It's that Christopher movement. They're getting you people wise to voting and stuff like that. But I got a hunch you're not going to pay any attention. And I will continue to run your government. Continue to tell you what to do. You'll sit home and beef about it, but that's all. I'm George. I'm the guy you let do it.
Perfect. You read it wonderfully.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you something. How come you got me doing a creepy character like that?
Why not? Isn't it true? You know, it's all over the country. People are letting others do it.
Yeah.
While the good people are taking care of themselves, all over the world, it's the same story. The evil people are taking care of everybody else.
your wife told me to come right in.
Oh, Steve, back from the wars, eh?
I'm not quite sure.
Sit down, Steve. Let's have one of our old-time talks.
I certainly could use one. I'm all mixed up, Professor.
What's this?
Oh, I got that scratch about a week ago in Korea on a piece of barbed wire. Just 1 week ago. And suddenly here I am right back where I left off. But I'm not really back.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm still thinking the way I did then. Worrying about where we're headed, our country, our world, our civilization.
Wherever you are, Steve, it's fine to be concerned, but not to worry.
Not worry? With the world at its own throat, struggling to destroy itself with atomic bombs?
Worry never stopped disaster. Remember the little boy in Holland? He didn't worry about the flood. He put his finger in the hole. He did something. So can you, Steve. You can help change the world for the better.
Easy now, Professor. Don't you give me that hero routine. I did what I had to do, and I got wounded and captured. That's all.
There's reason enough in that to call you a hero. But there's a greater reason. The way you're talking, the way you feel, that's what makes you a real hero.
Let's assume I buy that. Where does it lead?
Just a minute. I have something here that I think might interest. Here, take this. Read it.
All God's Children. What's it about?
It's the new Christopher book that shows how everybody can do something to strengthen our schools.
All God's Children. Maybe that's the answer.
A presentation of Christopher Thoughts. Brought to you by Father James Keller with the assistance of Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Ben Hogan, Ralph Kiner, and Phil Harris. Ben Hogan, one of the greatest of modern-day golfers, was at the peak of success when, driving along a fog-blanketed highway, his car crashed headlong into an oncoming bus. Everybody said that Ben Hogan, broken in body and in the shadow of death, would never play golf again. That is, everybody but Ben himself. With faith in God and in himself, Ben worked incredibly hard to come back, and come back he did. Today, he is again one of America's great golfers. Congratulations, Ben Hogan, and may your faith be an inspiration to all who face great handicaps. And now, speaking of golfers...
Say, Dad, say, I got a game for us. Fella just got off a bus with wooden shafts and a couple of gutties.
Is he healthy?
I think he's ready, this man.
Oh, Podo. Bring him on.
Aaron
Wait a minute.
I got this.
Can't go for a minute yet. I got a phone call from Father Keller, you know.
Father Keller, he doesn't play golf.
No, he's making some films up in Los Angeles.
Is he wearing knickers with that collar right now?
He's coming down here to see Ben Hogan, and he wants you and I to kind of stand around and help him a little.
We'll Ben's game that bad?
No, Ben's going to help him with some other things.
Oh, really?
So he'll be here shortly, and don't rush off till the... Father, how are you?
Hey, Father, isn't this?
Camera's over here, Father.
Nice
shot of your back.
That's a beautiful. Your best side, huh? Isn't that great?
What's on your mind, Father?
Well, just one thing.
What?
Ben Hogan. I'll go get him. Shall I get
Where
him?
he is?
I think I'll find out where he is.
Okay.
Benjamin!
Yes, it's a great story. I'd like to get it.
You're going to use it as part of the Christopher...
Yeah.
The philosophy of the Christophers, huh?
That's right. It ties in. He made such a great comeback against great adversity.
You made an excellent choice, Father. You've got to get some material out. We're going to play golf, Bob and I, but we'll come back later and see how you're doing with Ben.
Would you? All right.
Ask him how to cure a duck and hook, will you? I got one of those coat hangers. It comes off like that. Well, I can cut him out there.
Hey, Ben!
Whoop, what's that?
All things are rough in Indianapolis, yes, sir.
Why, you're Soy Ruttman.
Say, I found out... I made it.
What? Where's Ben?
Replace those pedestrians. Say, I found Ben is on the 15th green now, going over to the 16th and 17th. I understand. You want to just get on here.
Okay,
come in,
you mean ride in this?
Ride in here with me. I'll drive.
Why?
Do you have any faith, Father?
Yeah, but I have. What about hope?
You have hope here. Certainly, we haven't got any charity. Get in over here. Yeah, get in here.
I'm so frightened of this thing, isn't
Put it down there, Tallow.
You ready?
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Fasten your safety belt. Well, Father, here's your man. Hi, Stroker.
Hello, Father
This is
Keller.
Father Keller.
Nice to see you.
That's a pro at the
Fine.
Christopher's Country Club.
Say, we gotta go. We got a golf game. We got a hot one in from Anaheim.
We're gonna make some money,
Yeah,
huh?
we got a 24 handicap player. He can't stand up.
You always do.
We get wealthy.
Come on.
Okay.
Father, shall we sit down over here? I wish good.